Hey, how's it going, guys? So, I want to show you the buds that I have on my Queretaroensis. So here are these beauties. I took this one out of the greenhouse. I have it in a pot, small pot. So this one has some nice buds. They're still small, but this one, these are ready to pop almost. Next few days. I don't think tonight. Once they're gonna open in the afternoon, they will really get really fat on top. So I'll be checking these every day, and I'm hoping to I do have some frozen pollen, but not Queretaroensis. It's some other Stenocereus pollen. But I want to make some pure Stenocereus Queretaroensis seed. There's some people who don't like hybrids, so I want to make some pure seed. And that's why I took this out of the greenhouse, so I could cross it with this one here, which the bud that looks like it's about this size. Actually, if you see these, they look a little damaged. They actually had some aphids, and there were some leaf-footed bugs. There was 3 of them in the greenhouse. I don't know how they got in there, but they did. But I killed them. But you can see they did cause a little bit of damage. You can see these little spots that they have. It's minor. I went ahead and removed any aphids, and that's why I took it out of the greenhouse. Just because spring is around the corner. There's no more rain coming. At least for the next 2 weeks. So I want to cross this with this one right here. You can see the buds are about the same size. Actually, this one is about the size of these. These two are slightly smaller than these over here. Ideally, some of these will open the same night that this one does, so I can do an easy pollination using fresh pollen on both. But if not, if this one opens first, I'll go ahead and take some pollen and freeze it so I could use it on these. Again, I want to make some pure seeds, pure Queretaroensis genetics, and that's what these are. These are pure Queretaroensis. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. For all the other ones that I'm not going to grow the seeds and I just want the fruit, I will use any pollen from any Stenocereus. The ones that have worked really well are Wasticorum and Thurbury. But I have a few Wasticorum that I'm ready to cross-pollinate these with. But those don't have quite buds this big yet. But I do have some frozen pollen of Thurbury and Wasticorum. Anyways, look at these beautiful buds. They do have a little bit of damage, but they're still beautiful and in an abundance here. But there's more buds, not just at the tip. They're all over the body. Look at this. These are all going to be buds right here. Bud right there. There's a few over here around the corner. Look at this. Just like this guy right here. Look at all the buds this has right here. All the way down. These are much smaller, but still pretty beautiful. This one has a good amount of buds. And all over the main stem. What I'm hoping for, maybe not this year, maybe next year, I'm hoping the pups get buds also. But this one has 4 pups, but I don't know, maybe they won't get buds this year. This one has a bunch of buds, but they're all still small. You can see at the top, there's a few here. The buds are much smaller than, they're less far gone than the other ones, but it does have a lot of buds. Yeah, it has a whole lot of buds. But yeah, it has a lot of buds. But they're not. This one has way more, and they're a little bigger. They started developing faster. What I'm hoping for is that these two really fat and big pups, I'm hoping they give buds too. They are really fat. Look at how big compared to my hand. They are really fat arms. Beautiful. And this gives a really nice yellow orange pulp fruit. It's good tasting. So what I'm going to do to try to induce more flowering is I'm going to feed it a fertilizer right now that it's a budding time. I'm supposed to get the fertilizer today or tomorrow. It's just you could feed it any fertilizer that has high phosphorus. So you look at NPK. Every fertilizer will have. Here, I have one right here. Let me see. This is some budding fertilizer, but it's not that strong. But it's a good fertilizer. It's a good organic fertilizer. This is a budding fertilizer. Bud and Bloom. It also goes, I think they changed the name. Now you see one that says Flower Girl or something. But it's Dr. Earth, and it's all organic. But look at how low the NPK is. 394. So the first number is, it's NPK. So nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Some people call it, say, potash, because it's like they do that with like ashes, or certain kind of ashes. So it's potassium. So yeah, this is that's the NPK. So when you want to get a fertilizer, when you want to induce budding, so they flower, the middle number, phosphorus, that has to be higher. The first one, the nitrogen, is so your plant could just grow. That's nitrogen. That's like rain has nitrates. It has nitrogen. Phosphorus, is for it could bud. The potassium is good for root growth and health of the plant. So yeah, when looking for a budding fertilizer, make sure the middle number is biggest. If you don't remember the middle number being bigger, you could see right here. You could look for the breakdown here, the analysis. It says nitrogen, phosphate, that's phosphorus, and potassium, which is potash. Like I mentioned, potash. So it breaks down the percentage here. You could see the phosphate is bigger. It's a higher number. So that's what you want to get your plants to bud. It's not guaranteed that they'll bud, but it'll give it the nutrients it needs, so that it will induce it to bud, hopefully. So I'm going to feed it a higher dose than that. I'm getting a plumeria type of fertilizer, but I'm going to dilute it because it's actually too strong. The middle number is like 50. I'm going to dilute it maybe 3 parts, so it's around 20. And I'm gonna feed it to both of these. Actually, most of my cacti, I'm gonna feed it. And I'm hoping it could induce budding on these 2 stems. We'll see what happens. So this video is basically, I just want to show you the buds I have on my Queretaroensis. So these are some beautiful buds on this one. So that's 3. These are Huastecorum. You see the buds are barely coming out there. Stellatus. Thurbury has no buds. This is a beautiful Queretaroensis. Unfortunately, it has not given buds. It did not give any buds the past 2 years. It was a cut down to here. One year it grew all this. It actually rooted, and it gave one bud. It had two, but one fell off. So it had one bud. I went to Arizona. I didn't pollinate it, and the bud fell off. And so the plants take a lot of energy. It takes them a lot of energy to grow buds and fruit. So because it did not set that one fruit, it focused on root growth and growing. It grew a whole lot that year. I'm trying to see if you could see the little lines. You can't see them on here. Yeah, it looks like maybe the rain washed it off. Usually you could see like the lines from the seasons. Like you could see here the little, it's like leftover farina kind of. You could see the seasons. Like here you could see it. You could see the little farina here. You see how it's a little V. And then you could see it here, and again. So this was the growth within 1 year. And then here's the growth within another year. You see the farina. There's some leftover residue. And you could kind of see it here. And you could kind of see it down here too. I could see a little bit of it right there. Look, I could see a little bit. You see that? So there's some there. Let me see. You see it there? And then this. It grew all that in 1 year. So you could use that to see how much they grow every year. So you could see this one right here. You see it right there. You could kind of see the residue of the farina. That used to be a tip right there. And last year this grew all this. This one you could see it here. You see it. You see it's like a little V. So last year it grew all this. And this one you can see it's a little more pronounced. You can see. Last year it grew this. So this one, unfortunately, I think the rain just washed it off. You could see it from here, but you don't see any more. But it grew. Let me see if I could. No, I can't tell. Can't really see it. So it didn't set fruit for 2 years, but it grew like up to here in 1 year. It grew a whole lot. The next year, and it started developing a pup. The next year, it grew all this, and it grew these crazy pups. It grew this pup, and then this pup. On the second year, it actually had a pup up to here, and again the farina totally washed off, so you can't see. But then it grew all this last year. It's ridiculous. It grew all this all in 1 year. So don't get discouraged if you have a mature Queretaroensis. Don't get discouraged. Since I have many, I don't mind if it takes 2 to 3 years for it to bud, as long as I'm getting something out of it. This put on amazing growth, so I'll take that over a few extra fruits. And look, there's another little pup coming here. Yeah, pretty crazy. But this year, I was hoping to get some this year. I'm going to give it some fertilizer, even though it's we'll see. I'll give it some fertilizer and see if I could get it to bud this year. This one actually took a while to bud too. Last year it gave one fruit, but this year I'm going to feed it the high phosphorus fertilizer. And but even without the fertilizer, look at this. It has one bud here. It's going to pop out soon, unless it's an arm. This one for sure is a bud. This one maybe, and then this one for sure is a bud back here. See that? So there's for sure 2 buds so far, but ideally I want the pups I want the new arms that's not from the main stem. I want these to flower. So that's why I'm really going to try to feed them the high phosphorus fertilizer. The fertilizer I showed you, the one that's not as strong, I use that for my dragon fruit. It's an organic fertilizer. It's a really good fertilizer. I really love Dr. Earth, that Bud and Bloom. It's all organic. It's good stuff. It's like a powder. It's all kinds of ingredients, and you just put it over the top, and you water it in. And you only got it. I'll add that every like 3 weeks. I have a bunch of Queretaroensis here which have never flowered for me, not yet. But they've been growing. Look at all these pups. These have some crazy pups growing. This one was too small. It was a little cutting I got. It was tiny. But look at all this growth it's had. And you could see that little ring right there. You see? That's the end of or the beginning of a growth season. But like I said, sometimes you can't see them. The rain will wash off those rings. But I mean, on some species of, like especially in Quasticorum, you could see it a little more pronounced. Oh, look at this! I have a nice little flower out there on Stenocereus. Let me take a look at this Pernosis. Can you see the rings on here? It's too much because this one develops too much farina. So yeah, I can't really tell the end of the season. But on Queretaroensis, sometimes you can tell. Anyways, let's go see some other Queretaroensis that actually do have buds. I have them right here. So this was previously in the greenhouse and I took it out. This is a really, really fat. This is crazy fat Queretaroensis. Look at these beautiful buds. They still need a lot of time to bloom and develop, but they're coming. They're coming. These are a little bit more developed, so I'm excited about these. They have sometimes you'll get them only in the top, and sometimes you get them all over the stem. Like, look, this one has a bunch of them coming out, not in the top. Look at all these. Yeah, this is gonna get a lot of them here. Beautiful. I have some more over here. This is a new cut I got from a relative. It's supposed to give a really massive red pulp fruit. They call it a mamey pitayo. Mamey pitaya. Gives a really, really fat. I didn't write mamey. I think I just wrote big. I wrote grande. Red fruit. Okay. Okay, so let's see. I don't see any buds here. None here. But these have some nice buds right here. Look at this. Really nice buds. Look how fat this guy is. It's huge. Really nice buds. This one too. This one has some really, really nice buds here. And this one, I can't tell if those are going to be buds, but we'll see. They look different than these other ones. These other ones, they tend to turn, the aerials kind of turn reddish. You see that? See? So this might be getting buds. It's just running a little behind. And this one, they don't look that reddish. They don't look as red, you know? It's more like a clearish color. But we'll see if these become buds up here too. It looks like maybe, or maybe it's just new growth. We'll see. We'll see. This one, not yet. Not yet here either. But these, I'm not sure on the root development, so I am not going to feed these the high phosphorus fertilizer. I'm just going to give these rainwater. I collected so much rainwater, it's like over 1,000 gallons. But I'm not going to feed these fertilizer. Well, rain though is it has nitrates. It's a most bioavailable fertilizer you could give them, but it's just nitrogen, just to give it plant growth. So yeah, I am not going to use a budding fertilizer on these, even if they don't have buds, because I don't know if they even have roots. I planted these late in the year, and I had a bunch of these in the greenhouse. So I just took them out yesterday, so we'll see. We'll see if they get buds. I'm more interested in having them grow good roots. I have a few. I will be using the high phosphorus fertilizer for these Stenocereus Queretaroensis and the Stenocereus frizzii. Some people call it fricii. You want to call it fricii, frizzii, call it whatever you want. Pronounce it how you want. I got this from a relative, this one too, and this one. And ideally, I would want to see buds on the new stems, but this one's too small. It's a weird growing one. That one, that was the only tip cut I had left. Well, now these have some tips, but let me show you that one. That one has puffy areoles to begin with, so I can't really tell. It's not a sure thing that these are buds. It looks like it might be a bud, but I'm not sure yet. So this is definitely rooted. So I will feed this one the fertilizer, the high phosphorus fertilizer. I'll make a video on that today, actually tomorrow. Actually, you know what? I might wait a few days because it rained not long ago. So I'll feed them soon. Maybe next week. Here's another one. I don't see that. I don't think that's a bud. It would look more. It would look different. So this one, not yet. I do have one in the front of my house that has a bunch of buds. I need to feed another one that I have in the ground that I need to feed. This one right here. Let me zoom in. It has no buds anywhere to be seen. It kind of looks small, but it's really big, but it's up on the slope, so it kind of looks small, but it's actually really fat and big, but for some reason it looks small. But it's a pretty big, it's a big cut. It's like 6 feet. It's a big cut. Anyways, so I need to feed that one right there. Again, it has no buds, and it's fully rooted here in the front. I don't think I'm going to feed this one. I think it has enough. See, this one looks skinny too, right? But I want to climb up there and show you. It's pretty fat. It just looks skinny because it's so tall. Let's see. Look at this beauty right here. It's really fat. Even though it looks like it's not, it's a fat plant. And look at all these buds. It's pretty crazy. So many buds. Look Look at all these buds. Beautiful. Okay, I stopped recording for some reason. I don't know why my camera stopped recording, but here you can see the amazing buds on this one. It has a full root system. I am not going to give this budding fertilizer. It doesn't need it. If it doesn't need it, it already has enough buds. I'm happy with the amount of buds it has. I'd rather it give less fruit and have them grow bigger instead of a crazy amount of fruit and then they're all small. So yeah, I will feed this regular fertilizer, but not the budding fertilizer. Yeah, it has a lot of buds, not only in the tip but all over the body. It has a few. This is one flower that didn't bud last year. Yeah, so look at this beauty right here. And this has this is in the ground, full root system. And ideally I want the pups to give buds, but this one's just too small. I don't think this will give buds, this one either. But I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to give it budding fertilizer. I'm just going to let it do its thing. Once these pups are bigger, if I do want them to try to pup, I will feed it next year some budding fertilizer, but not this year. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. I have so many weeds here. That's it for now, guys. I'll do a video on my my budding fertilizer that I'll be using on a lot of my fruiting cacti, like on this cereus right here. This is a beautiful cereus here. This one too. This is a beautiful cereus. Look at the nice little farina. It's crazy. All right, guys. That's it for my my Queretaroensis with buds. It's not a crazy amount of them that are budding, but yeah. All right, guys. Cheers.